Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back to Witchy Wednesday. I am lighting all of the candles right now. I hope you guys are ready for Tharf cake fortunes. I don't know why I like saying it that way. I just do. Every time I say Tharf cake, I'm just like, Tharf cake. It's just weird. Hey, Lori, I see that you're here. How are you, my lovely? How are you doing? I hope you're well. Oh, so we're doing Tharf cake fortunes. Go grab yourself a little Debbie or a hostess or any type of little crumbly cake that you got. I'm using a Nutri-Grain bar. We're going to learn how tonight to read fortunes based on cake crumbles, right? It's called the Tharf cake fortune telling spell. And so we're going to try it out, see what we think, see if it works. Oh, I know you are going through it, aren't you, Lori? You are absolutely going through it. I don't, oh, I know that with your hubby's illnesses and yours and other family members, you've just been, you need a solid vacation, Lori. You need a solid vacation. Okay, if you don't have cake, that's fine. Yes, play it again later and play along then. All right, come on. Thank you. So I'm just lighting all the candles. The other candle that we're supposed to have for this is a black candle. I do have that, but I have said time and time again, you do not have to have all the colored candles. For me, colored candles are nice. It helps keep me focused on whatever I'm trying to do, but it's not a thing. Like, you don't really have to have them. Witches of old did not have all the fancy colored candles. So we really don't have to have all the fancy colored candles. I believe, and I will need to do my research, so don't take this as fact, okay? But I believe that it was Gardnerian Wicca that brought this color coordination to be. Some things Wiccan I totally get on board with. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's cool. And then there's other things I'm like, eh, eh, eh. I don't really, yeah. So I've been doing a lot of research lately on my personal ancestry. Like, what are the things that they would have had around them? What kind of things that they enjoyed? What kind of things did they hold dear as far as beliefs go? So that way I can kind of create my craft a little more around my ancestors. So I'm working, still learning, right? Still learning. Uh, so your test today went well. That's good, Lori. On with Witchy Wednesday. On with Witchy Wednesday. It's a way for all of us to be able to kind of forget the world around us for a bit, I think. I know I started this as a way to be able to, it was during the pandemic, as a way to learn, but also to reconnect with the people because I had become so disconnected. And I can't say that I really was needing connection, um, but connection's nice. So I enjoyed it. Um, Things that I'm adding to tonight. I am adding pomegranate. Why pomegranate? Because Persephone. I view, because I know that myth, I view these, and this is going to sound so weird. I view these as a way to connect between worlds. Because that's what Persephone did. She ate them, and then she became of both worlds, right? So I attribute these as being able to walk both worlds. And for being able to see one's future, you need to be walking between worlds. You need to be both here and there. So I've got some pomegranate seeds. Zarabeth! You're fine. No worries. No worries. I hope physical therapy went well. And I decided to bring back the hat again because I was like, you know what? I look like my channel art. I might as well. I might as well wear a hat while telling tarot and doing, especially during Witchy Wednesdays, right? I should definitely wear my hat because I wear so many. But I figured I can make new ones so you guys can see the new ones and we've got a witchy hat ensemble coming up. We've got to figure out after we do tonight, we're going to figure out when you guys would like to do the witchy hat live. All right, Lori, no problem. Yeah, it went well. Good, Zarabeth. And have a new exercise Connor has to do at home. Okay. So it's still his leg, right? He didn't re-injure anything else. Because oh my gosh, children, as bouncy as they are, they end up getting hurt so easily, and it just oh. Lori, I got one of those for the first time in a while from somebody, and I don't even know who it was. Like, all I can hear is like rap music being played in the background and like a few voices, but that's it. And I was like, I don't think they meant to call me. So I think it might have been my son that butt dialed me because it was a really deep voice in the background, but I couldn't tell because it was so muffled. So I was like, But of course he doesn't remember, and he won't look at his phone. So whatever. The other thing that I wanted to talk about tonight, there was a question that came about on my TikTok, and I figured I might as well address it at YouTube as well. Like, it's a question I've gotten often, and based on some things that I've had to do recently, figured I might as well go ahead and talk about it. Baneful magic. Baneful magic. Somebody asked me, do I hex people? And I was like, I really honestly have never hexed a person. I do some passive aggressive baneful magic where I'll like uplift everybody around you and let you just watch people succeed and you're stagnant, you're standing there. But I was asked, like, ethically, what do I think of that? It was a baby witch that was asking, a witchling was asking me. And ethically, there's a lot of things that you have to decide on your own before you do baneful magic. All right. For me and my path, I absolutely believe that every consequence has an action. It has an equal and sometimes bigger reaction. Like I said, there are certain things that were very Wiccan that I take from, and there's certain things that I'm just like, that doesn't make sense. I do believe that there is some type of reaction to what you do. When we send out any type of action, it creates a ripple in energy. And eventually that ripple has to get back to us. I have avoided baneful magic for a very long time. Why? Because I don't want that energy coming back. I don't want that energy coming back. There's a line that I do draw, though, as far as ethically goes. And this is why I say I've never had to do it before. If somebody hurts a child, and I've gotten permission to protect that child with baneful magic, you bet I'm going to do it. You bet I'm going to do it. Children you do not insult children. You do not harm children in any way, shape, fashion, or form. Because if you do, I have no mercy for you. So that's where I stand on baneful magic. So if you hear anybody talk about it, that's my stance. You get to create your own stance. I just don't. I don't want the repercussions for most of it. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You do not harm children. Exactly, Zarabeth. Yeah. Once you step over that line, I will step over mine. And I got some pent up rage. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants that energy. Not at all. So I make sure, though, that I get all the information I need. Sometimes adults will use children to get their own attention. So I always want to make sure that I'm doing all my homework, and any energy that I'm using, I want to make sure is justified. So that's where we stand on baneful magic. All right, guys? All right. Tonight, we will eat cake. We will eat cake. This is what I've done. Like I said, we have a Nutri-Grain bar, which again, any little crumbly cake that you have laying around, you could use Pop-Tart. I don't care. All right. Now, what does the actual recipe and like what does the actual spell call for? Well, the actual spell has you cooking something called a Tharf cake. All right. Tharf cake has butter, oats, and flour. It has a teaspoon of allspice, 1 chopped apple, and sugar. That's all it's in there. So you've got butter, oats, flour, apple, allspice, and sugar. Sort of like an oat cake, okay? So it's a little like an oat cake, all right? This is what the background information is for this particular one. There are many recipes for Tharf cake, all associated with this time of year, and all including the basic ingredients of oats. Tharf cake eaten at Samhain reportedly has the special quality of foretelling the future of those eating it. This may be related to much older customs in which flat cake with a little darker dough mixed in would forecast the death in the next year of one unlucky enough to receive a slice of the fateful shadow on it. The purpose of this Tharf cake is much less morbid. It predicts instead where your fortune will lie in the next 12 months. The methodology employed here is very similar to that of reading tea leaves, in that it involves interpreting patterns from the dregs of leaving of a drunk of a drunk or eaten substance. So, I chose a Nutri-Grain bar. I just got lucky and it's got oats in it, right? It's like, whatever. So here's what we're supposed to do. We are supposed to have a bowl. We're supposed to have a little plate, all right? Take your candle, your black candle. Oh. Take your black candle, and you're going to light your black candle. I think I just need a new lighter altogether, huh, guys? Now, tip for keeping candles in place. I often will take a baby food jar and put herbs inside of it and then burn the candle on top of it because of a fire hazard. If you anoint your candles too much, or like for this case right here, this type of candle, if you put too much in there, you're going to burn your house down because it becomes a fire hazard. So what I do is I use a little baby food jar, and I'll put my herbs inside the baby food jar, and then I will melt the top of the candle just a bit to get wax to flow down on top of it. That way it will sit in the wax and hold in place. Just like that. I don't know if you guys could see that or not because that's a little far away. So now you can see where I've had another one on top of there. And the herbs that I have in here, they're just like, I have roses and hibiscus, because hibiscus heightens the psychic powers. So I have roses, hibiscus, I have some rose quartz, and I have some regular white quartz and smoky quartz in there. So all of them are amplifying what I want. And what I want is I want that candle to kind of give me some of that in between, right? Again, I've got pomegranates. So I'm going to put my pomegranate seeds near my candle. And I'm not counting. Some witches will tell you it's got to be a certain number. I don't care. I just know I need them. So I put them there. That's it for the candle. Now, open up your cake. We're gonna eat cake, y'all. Let's see. Oh, my cake's already wanting to crumble. All right. Let's see what you guys have to say. Yeah, apple crisp. An apple crisp is definitely like a type of Tharf cake if you think about it, because it has the allspice in it. It has oats. It has apple. It has flour. So an apple crisp, really. That's what that is. So this is what the spell said to do. It said you should do this with a group of friends. Well, guess what, guys? We're a group of friends. And you eat half the cake. So enjoy your cake. I'm going to read through the comments. AJ's going to get me black candles. All right. But you don't really have to always have black candles. You can use white candles. Like I said, Wiccans are pretty, I think they're pretty much the ones that have decided what is what in color. At least everything Wiccan that I have seen, and then everything previous to Wicca really doesn't make much reference to color. I think there's like colors of string that would be used. I know in The Wicked Shall Decay, which is a book of spells from Old England. In The Wicked Shall Decay, they make reference to like black string or red string or white string, but that's pretty much it in colors. Oh, that's cool. Zarabeth, the swirled colors would really come in handy if you wanted to do, a protection while baneful. By banishing, I like it. I like it a lot. It is, Zarabeth. That's I do this with my students because we have to talk about symbolism in books. And I tell them a symbol is only as powerful as the society that built the symbol. Okay? As a society, we deemed certain colors to represent certain things. But within society, certain symbols are stronger than others. So, for instance, red. Some will say red is for love, and then some say red is for anger, right? Some will say black is for banishing, but black is also the absence of creation. So, like, it could mean whatever you choose it to mean. So, color magic, like you said, is a little weird for me because I think it's all what I want. And that's the way I look at witchcraft as well. It's not the absolute universal, a white candle is protection. I never take it as universal. I take it as what does my intuition feel? Using pomegranates in this, not a thing. Not a thing in any spell that I ever looked for. But as I was getting ready for tonight, I was whispered, get the pomegranate seeds. Get the pomegranate. And so I did, right? I just listened to myself. That's the way your witchcraft should be, at least in my book. Don't let everybody else tell you how to practice. Exactly. Lori and Zarabeth, you guys are right. All right. Now that I've eaten half the cake, we are to take the other half and crumble it into a different bowl. So just kind of like, you just crumble it. Oh, I didn't think this through. I don't have any, napkins. Okay. This is going to be interesting. So I'm just crumbling it into small little crumbs. I've got gooey, wait, I do have napkins. Never mind. All right. Oh, thank goodness for this being my craft room. Thank goodness for this being my craft room. All right. So the next thing that we're supposed to do is once you've crumbled them in, you dip the crumbs, like you got the crumbs in the bowl, right? You see it, they're not like super, right? So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take your plate that you had your cake on, and you just put the crumbs on your plate. There we go. Just boop, on there. And that's what they look like. See? Here. Let's turn the little kitty around so that way you can see it better on that. There we go. That's what they look like. They've all kind of went to the bottom a little bit. Depending on where your crumbs land, depend on your fortune. So if they're mainly to the edge, you will work for your bread. I don't know if that's mainly on the edge or not. I'm not going to call it mainly on the edge because I just want to make stuff. Anyways, if it's mainly in the center, necessities will come easily. It's not mainly in the center. To the left, fortune is leaving. To the right, your fortune is coming. To the top, you will triumph over adversity. To the bottom, guard your health. Well, no, poop. Yes, I know. I'm chronically ill. Goodness. Spirals or curves or circles, what is owed will be repaid. Straight lines and angles, a steady income. Yeah, I got a straight line. Horseshoe. I definitely have a horseshoe because it does this you thing. Definitely have a horseshoe. A journey will bring luck. All right. Any animal shape, you need to guard your home. And then after you've read your crumbs, you are to take them outside and let the animals, particularly a bird, eat them and carry them away. So tonight, that's what I will do. What'd you guys get? Did you guys try it as well? Did you try it as well and see if you got yeah, not napkin crisis averted, Sarah Beth. Yes. I do not like things to get stuck on my hands. It sounds weird because like I will work with paint with my fingers. I will use glue and Mod Podge and put stuff on my fingers, but let food stick to my hands and it will drive me nuts. Like it just makes me sick. It makes me think that I've got some kind of germ or something. Is that dumb? That is dumb, right? So, as you can see, mine was a horseshoe shape, right? It was mainly to the bottom. So this is basically saying that I will have a journey this year, but that journey is going to bring me some good luck, right? There might be, and when I see journey, I always think of struggle because what's a journey without a good struggle, right? Because that's where we learn. So, gonna go on a journey, and because it's mainly at the bottom, I need to watch my health. I need to make sure that I'm taking care of myself this year. And I'm gonna. Because who else is going to besides my husband? My husband's a great guy. Let's see. Pop-Tart. Oh, you got a Pop-Tart? Oh, you can do a Pop-Tart. Let's do Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts or what was it? I saw on I think it was TikTok. Somebody was using a Benefiber cookie. I was like, I may or may not try that. The Benefiber cookie. I can't imagine doing this with like a solid apple crisp though. Could you guys? Like that would be I don't know. I don't think it'd be crumbly enough. Maybe I'm just not thinking of it the right way. I wouldn't think it's crumbly enough. I wanted to share something with you because I knew this wasn't going to take too long, but I wanted to share with you a story that I told over on TikTok, specifically because if you guys also, if you're not following him here on YouTube, definitely go subscribe to my friend, Witchy Friend Co. is the YouTube channel. On TikTok, he is known as @certifiably_gay. He sent me a message a couple of days ago, and he's like, "Hey, I'm starting a pen pal, witchy pen pal. You want to be my witchy pen pal?" And I was like, "Sure." So he said, "I'm going to send you a postcard." All right, cool. Today I get in, and there's this box, right? And sorry. So Zarabeth, yours is center right. Center right. That one was to the center, necessities will come easily. The right, fortune is coming. Girl, you about to hit easy street. That's what that says. It's like, Zarabeth is about to get everything. Everything. That's what that says. Let's hope your Tharf cake is true, man. That's gonna. It is. It is. But like I was saying, I came in today and there's this big nice box, right? And I was like, what is in, like, what's this? And on the side of the box it says, "This is your postcard." And I was like, that is that's not a postcard. So I open up the box, and I have a nice letter written to me, right? And the letter is just reminding me that that people out there find my videos and find my presence on social media uplifting, and that he's basically saying, you don't realize it, but you're inspiring others. So it was a nice little letter that I needed, right? But then there was something in the box besides a letter. There was another box, an antique box. He saw this at a thrift store, fixed it up because it was busted. When I saw the video of it, it was busted. He found this at an antique store and has fixed it up. It is an old jewelry box. You would put like your bracelets and rings and stuff right there. And then you have a section for your other jewelry down here. Right? Oh, Zarabeth, thank you. Thank you. I enjoy spending time with you guys too. This is nice. Yeah, this was really pretty, right? I was like, oh, this is so cool. And in his letter, he says, "You will know the reason why I was told to give this to you." Like, he had picked it up for himself, and as soon as he started work, he like picked it up. He's like, no, that's hers. And he fixed it up for me, and he says, "This is going to be something special for you. You'll understand why." And so I opened it up, right, and I set it aside, and I'm doing all my normal afternoon things. And as I'm doing my normal afternoon things, I hear there's words on the box. There's words on the box. So I come back to the box, and I'm looking inside, and I pull the drawer out, and I'm like looking inside the box here, and I'm looking underneath the drawer, and I can't find any words. Hold on, let me get this back in here. I can't find any words until I turn it around. Now I'm going to cover up part of it because I am not 100% what these numbers are. So I'm not going to show you the numbers. There's a name carved into this box. And the numbers underneath it, there's 3 numbers, there's 2 numbers, there's 4 numbers. So it's in a very much like a pattern of like Social Security numbers. And I was like, what is this? What is that? Right? And so I look up the name. And first off, because the initials are LG, I'm getting all kinds of phone stuff and everything, right? And so I was like, I need LG the person, LG Ferguson person. And as I'm looking, I see a court document come up, and it's LG Ferguson. So I look at the court document because I was like, well, you know, I doubt this is the person, but let me just see because I'm interested in court stuff. And I pull it up. It is Kansas State versus Storied, and then Barney versus Ferguson. It's a case in 1911. And in 1911, this LG Ferguson, he worked for a company and was like a foreman of this company that helped build schools. What do I do, guys? I'm a teacher, right? So it's like, oh, I'm in. I'm looking at the story. So I'm looking at the story and I see where basically, from what I can gather of the court documents, Ferguson bought some stone to make this building, right? He was in masonry. So he bought some stone, and the person that he bought the stone from says, "Hey, you didn't pay me." And Ferguson's like, "Yeah, I did. I gave it to my subcontractors to pay you. We went through an attorney and everything." And they're like, "Nope, I don't have it. Show me the attorney that did this." And they couldn't find the attorney, right? And it's like, well, he's not there, so obviously you're lying. And the court was like, nope, you're going to pay. So he takes it to another court, and the court's like, oh, no, like he has the proof that he paid. So here they overturn it again. Then, because of another appeal, there was like a bunch of appeals that went back and forth because people really wanted this money and he really didn't want to pay for it. It ends up in Kansas State Supreme Court. And they have to make a ruling on this, on whether or not the guy can get like a retrial. And so they made a ruling on it. Long story short, it looks like, and I'm still following paper, so don't take it again as 100%. But from the paperwork that I've seen so far, Ferguson had to pay. He refused to pay, so they started seizing his assets. They seized his jewelry box. And the documents say they seized a jewelry box. And I was like, the story's just cool, right? The story's just cool. So I have the box. Now, they obviously sold all the jewelry off and everything like that, but I guess they thought the box was useless, and so the box ended up at a thrift store somewhere. This is new right here. This is new, and then I believe these hinges are new. But that's the story of this box so far. And I found that very, very interesting. Very interesting. And I think that's the reason why I got the box, was because I would tell the story. I would be interested enough to look up the story and have Ferguson's side told. So that is the very cool thing about the internet, is that you can go and look up stuff. You can figure out what's going on. And the fact that it was seized by the government, it would make sense why the numbers that I think are on here, I think that would have been carved into the box. So that way, when they were making sure credit got to where it needed to be, that's how they made sure. But I think it's kind of cool. And I'm very, very, very excited. The other thing I wanted to show you guys was this. This is just Halloween bath salts. That's all there is. Halloween bath salts. However, it smells like roses. So I was like, pumpkin spice? No. It smells like roses. I picked this up. Most people would just look at this and go, it's bath salts. Take a bath with it. And you can. Absolutely take a bath with it. I'm setting this out in the moon tonight, and I'm going to let this charge up. It's salt. Salt is crystals, right? And the fact that they're already infused with rose, oh my gosh. You know how many spells I can use this in? The last 2 days I have kept, and I don't think I have my mojo bag in here. I have a little mojo bag that I put crystals in. And I put a little bit of this rose salt in there. And it has helped me tremendously through the day. So when we're talking about things that we can use in our craft, only your imagination limits you. I looked at this and went, this is kind of cool. One, I like the skull. I like the skull. Two, the salt is super useful in my craft. I use roses in almost every spell. Why? Because most of my spells have to do with you feeling some type of protection and love. You feeling the healing power of something, right? Love to me is a very healing thing. So when I'm doing healing spells, I'll put some roses in. And there's that. Oh my gosh, Lori, this morning when I walked out, it looks pretty full this morning when I went to work. And when I go to work, it's still very dark outside. Very dark outside. And the older I get, the more I become scared of the dark. So my husband has to stand at the door and watch me get to the car. I know, I'm silly. But we were standing out there, and I asked him, I said, do you see the gypsy in the moon? And he's like, no. What are you talking about? I was like, we all know about the man in the moon. When you first have the moon come up, it looks like there's man in the face of the moon, right? But when the moon is about to go back down, like I say back down, when it's early in the morning and the moon is setting, right? If you look at the profile, it looks like a profile of a woman. Just the profile of her face. She's got a headscarf on, and it comes around this way. And I always thought that's the moon goddess. That's the gypsy in the moon. And I love it. I love looking at the moon, especially in the morning times, because then I see the goddess smiling at me. I see the goddess right there. And she's like, hey, I'm going to help you get to work this morning. I love the full moons for that reason. Every morning that the full moon is out, I know that I'm going to have a companion all the way to work because I drive in the direction of the moon. So all the way to work, I get to see her. And that just makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. Stevie Nicks, the patron goddess of of witches. Patron saint of witches. That's what we're going to say. Stevie Nicks is the patron saint of witches. Oh. Lori, we're all just going to have the song in our head, right? I enjoy listening to Fleetwood Mac, and I realize that my kiddos are getting younger and younger and younger. And so now when I'm listening to Fleetwood Mac inside the classroom, the kids, there's two reactions. The kids are like, Miss, what oldies are you playing? I'm like, all right, for that, you're failing. You're failing. You're failing, right? And then the other one, they start bopping around, and they'll use whatever slang term. Like the recent one that I heard was, Miss, that song is bussin'. I was like, what does that mean? Can you explain? I don't understand the term. That's right. F is your grade. Now get out. You may exit the classroom. No, you will not collect $200. Go. Get out. Today, by the way, was a really fabulous day in my classroom because we are the 11th grade team. There's 3 teachers that compose that team, by the way, so it sounds a lot larger than what it is. There's 3 teachers. We are teaching transcendentalism, and I love teaching transcendentalism. Like, it makes my little witch heart happy to be outside. And when we teach transcendentalism, we go outside. We take them on nature hikes. It's so nice. Say nature hikes. It's literally like All right, let's step off the sidewalk at the school and walk on the patch of grass that's like this down to the cow pasture for the ag kids. So we'll go and look at the cows for a bit. Yep, there's still cows. All right, now let's walk over to the not so butterfly garden because it's just a tree with grass. Yep, tree and grass. Let's sit here and listen. And your kids like all over the place. And you're like, sounds of nature. Let's go back inside. But it's nice because the kids are enjoying being outside, and it was a nice day here. So like first thing in the morning I took my kids out and we got to see the sun rise because like I said, it's dark when we start school. And so we were out just as the sun was rising in the sky, and you could see like all the little sparkling dew across the fields, and it was nice. It was nice, and they enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And then we came in and we reflected on what we heard, and was it easy to clear our heads. We talked about transcendentalists and who they were, and I gave them their little booklets because I got a little coloring book that they're going to do. It is what it is. I found that everybody, including us witches, we just want to learn and learn through fun. So try to accommodate everybody. Like us, we're learning through fun. All right, next week on Witchy Wednesday, there is something that I do for Samhain that I take pretty seriously, and I figured I'm going to share that spell work with you. All right, I'm going to share with you my ritual. Samhain for me, Halloween, is a time that not only are we very thin between the worlds of the living and the dead, but we have the ability to speak to our ancestors and to honor them and to be able to say, I appreciate the time you gave me. I appreciate the time you gave me while you were here. And I have a box that is a portable altar. And I'm going to share with you how I set up that portable altar and what it's made of, what I have in it. Some of the things that I have in it are very personal things that I will be sharing with you. And I will be sharing something that means a lot to me. So I am very thankful that you're willing to be here and see these things and see how I honor the dead on Samhain. And that'll allow you to have inspiration on how you would want to honor your dead and your ancestors. How do you want them to see you during this time of month, and what would you do for them? So we're going to talk about that next Witchy Wednesday. All right. Oh, it was raining, Lori. It's good and bad. Like I like the coolness of the rain, and I like the sound of the rain, but the rain, man, it makes my head hurt so bad. That's why during the summertime it's so hard for me. Oh, I know, Zarabeth. Like, sorry, my nose itches. There are some things in there that as soon as I pull them out each year, whoo, waterworks. So I'm going to have to work through the crying all of Witchy Wednesday. That won't do any of us good. Right? Ah. Oh. Oh. It took me when my grandfather died. My grandfather was like my dad. Um, Before my husband now, my grandfather was the only man I knew unconditionally loved me. Like there was nothing that they wanted from me. He just loved me. He loved who I was as a person. He thought it was neat. Um, he never thought my spiritualism was weird. He he thought it was cool, you know. He was a cool guy, and Man, losing him was tough. And I did not go back to his grave. I want to say it was 10 years. It was 10 years. I went the day of his funeral, and he's in a mausoleum. So for me to think, like, I kept having to tell myself, like, he's not there. That's just his body. He's not there. That's just his body. So that way I would kind of forget, you know. But then the first time I went back, I was there for 2 seconds and had to walk away. I was like, nope, can't do this. Can't do this. Now it's a little bit better. If I go out to his grave, it's a little bit easier. But I do miss him a lot. I miss him a lot. He was a goofy old man and I loved him. Yeah. Oh, you had a Grandpa Leo. Oh. Lori, I'm gonna try to make sure that I don't cry the whole time. I don't know, Zarabeth. Losing someone that you really, really love, because you've lost somebody, it's not an every second of the day thing anymore. Somebody told me when it happened, they're like, it'll get easier as far as it won't hurt so much. And that's an absolute outright lie. That is an absolute outright lie. It hurts the same. It's just that the pain isn't a 24-hour pain. The pain now is 5 minutes of the day. It still hurts just the same, though. You know? Yeah. Zarabeth, your mom sounds like an amazing woman. She sounds like a very amazing woman who raised amazing children. And I'm sure she's watching you guys. Oh, Lori. Did he have, like, I know, like, most grandpas, either they have, like, a nickname for you or they have, like, a special, like, treat that they give you. My grandpa's, mine was a nickname. My grandpa called me Pigeon. My grandpa called me Pigeon. Yeah, the pain is always the same size. It's just not the same duration as it used to be. Yeah. 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 It's just the thing, you know? And I think that's what people meant by it gets easier. I don't think they meant that the pain is less. I think they meant it doesn't happen as often. But in my box that I'll show you guys next week, there are 3 particular people in that box. And you open the box and you remember them. And that pain hits just as hard as it did before, you know? So, Tootsie. Your grandpa called you Tootsie? My papa had nicknames for everybody. I don't understand how I got a dumb bird and my sister got royalty. Like, my sister got princess. Like, come on now. How is that even fair? And any remoteness of fair? Your Zeebs. I love that. That's so cute. That's so cute. Now, my abuelito, he would come. Okay, so my first name is Shalisa, right? And my abuelito, he would call me Choriza. And I was like, abuelito, I'm not a sausage. He'd go, Choriza, Chorizo. And I was like, no, I'm not a sausage. Our grandparents always had the funniest names for us, didn't they? And that's what I love about remembering and honoring the dead, is remembering these moments, because when you talk about it, it's almost that they're back with you. Like, you remember it and you get that same feeling that you did, right? Now, of course, that feeling comes in accompaniment with they're no longer here and there's a little bit of sadness, but we get to have them forever. And I think that's what people meant by they're in your heart, right? They're in your heart. They're never going to be away from you. They're here. They're going to be right there. And all that love that they showered on you while they were here, that's the same love that you're going to have when you remember them. And one day somebody's going to be like that with us. They're going to remember all the things that we did, the actions, right? Not going to remember the stuff. They're going to remember the actions. So I want to make sure that the memories I make with people are those that are so strong that when I'm gone, they're still going to have a big, bright smile. They're still going to smile when they think of me. And when they think of me, they know that they were loved by me. That's what I want. Oh. He was your favorite, huh, Zarabeth? Yeah, well, we all have our favorites. We all have our favorite, like, aunt and uncle. We have our favorite grandparent, right? And I think secretly grandparents have like their favorites too. Like my mom's mom, she would outright tell everybody that I was her favorite. I had a cousin that she would be like, "Yeah, I'm your favorite." And my grandma would look at her and go, "No, Shalisa is." So I think all the grandparents had a favorite, right? Sounds like you were his. Talking about them is great, though. That's how we keep them around. Absolutely. It keeps them with us. Oh, I hope so, Lori. You guys have, like I said at the beginning of this, you guys have been through the ringer. Absolute ringer. I keep lighting candles for you guys, by the way. I really do. Because I want to make sure that we keep you surrounded in healing light. That's what I would like. To keep you guys surrounded in healing light. You have an Aunt Evelyn. Right, Zarabeth? I think the last 2 years, if you ask people, like, what has their life been like the last 2 years, I think everybody is hitting this fatigue stage where we're just ready to have some good things in a consistent manner, right? We're tired of having bad things in a consistent manner. We would like to see that flowers are blooming, bees are thriving, bats are okay, right? Like, that's what we want. There is no more variants. Everybody's gotten vaccinated. So, like, we don't vaccinated, right? So we don't have to worry about stuff. Like, that's where we are. We want some consistency. Consistent in good things. Stop the consistent bad things. Yes, save the bees. And I throw in bats there because people don't realize, like, bats are also there are huge colonies of bats that are getting sick and dying. So, and that's an issue. That's a major issue. Sharks, by the way, also save the sharks, because once the sharks go in the sea, that throws everything off, and you're going to see a big shift in the food chain. Oh, Lori. See, now everybody's thinking about their loved ones who have passed, and it's putting a little bit of a smile on your face. Yes, that smile comes with a little bit of sadness, but it puts a little bit of smile on your face. Next week, we're going to continue this talk of honoring our dead and honoring their memories and what they mean to us. And we're going to talk about why I feel so strongly about it at this time of year. What influenced me and my beliefs on this. We'll talk about what influenced you for this time of year. What kind of influences do you have for Halloween? What do you do that is set apart from the commercial side of Halloween and is for your spiritual side? Do you have a spiritual practice for Halloween? I didn't for many years. And recently, I have made it a thing where I absolutely will do this on October 31st. I'll do what I'm going to show you guys next week. So, all right, my lovelies. It's that time. It's that time for us to wait another week to speak to each other. But, like always, you know I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. And yes, I have a Snapchat. I don't use Snapchat a whole lot, though. Don't use Snapchat a whole lot. But I have all the social medias. If you ever want to chat, just send me a message and I will get to it. The easiest ones to get me on are Facebook and TikTok. All right. All right. Zarabeth, we'll hang out with you anytime. All right. You guys are amazing. I love both of you that are in chat right now. And those of you that have lurked around, I love you too. I love my lurkers. My lurkers are great. Okay? Stop in and say hi one time in the chat. Don't always be shy. But if you want to be shy, I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. You do you, boo. All right, my lovelies. I will see you next Tuesday. Be happy. Be safe. Right? Be happy. Be safe. That's all I want. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday for Tarot Tuesday. Bye, guys.